Doug O'Neill, thoroughbred trainer, two-time Kentucky Derby winner, and a friend of the show. And we figured that we'd check in with Doug and see what his opinion was, his reaction was to what happened at Churchill Downs. Doug, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me.
All right. So you saw the race, I'm assuming?
I did. And, first of all, I want to congratulate all the 19 horses that made it to the Kentucky Derby. That's not an easy thing to have. So credit to all those great horses and great horsemen to get them there. And, that was a crazy race. And, probably one of those things, if you talk to 50 people, 25 would go one way and 25 would go the other. You could have went really either way on it. And tough way to lose a Derby for sure.
What did you see? Would you have DQ'd Maximum Security?
I probably wouldn't have, but because Country House, the horse they moved up, wasn't affected by Maximum Security. But at the same time, Maximum Security did shift from something and took the path of the number one horse. And I thought Tyler Gaffalione on him just did an unbelievable job of staying on. And you saw how amazing athletes these jockeys are. And I could see where if you're going to go by the rule book, I could see where you could take Maximum Security's number down. But it is. I was talking to a couple top jockeys, and they were talking about, you don't always officiate a normal NBA game like you would a Game 7 of the NBA championship. And, you quote-unquote swallow the whistle a little bit. And I thought maybe they would let that little shift go, the fact that it didn't really affect the horse they moved up ahead of them.
That's what I wanted to know, and I thought that there was a little bit of leeway because you have 19 horses and you have those track conditions, Doug, that,
yeah.
I mean, do I think something happened? Yes, I do. Did it have an impact on who won the race? I don't think it did, and therefore, given that there's 19 horses and you have those conditions, I wouldn't have called anything on it.
I tend to agree, and I think that's the beauty of having a 19 or 20 horse field is that, the best horse doesn't always win. It's the horse that, has the best trip and gets the luckiest journey around there. And watching the top riders in the world navigate these amazing horses around there in a big field, it's awesome. And I agree. I really thought they should have left it alone, but I can understand why they did what they did. And, I think the stewards probably needed Maximum Security when they were walking to their car after the races.
If you're the trainer or owner, I should say, of Maximum Security, would you be fighting this?
I wouldn't. I can see why why him and his wife are upset, but again, I think it's easy for me to say because I've been lucky enough to have won the Derby, and there is no greater feeling. So, but I think he's got some great horses. He's a great owner. He'll be there again, and you feel for the Jason Service barn too. What an unbelievable job from the groom, the hot walker, the exercise rider, everybody in the barn. He was definitely the best horse that day, and you feel for them. But
is this more the jockey doing? What if the horse just does this, or did you think the jockey did this?
Oh, I think it was mainly horse, and I'm not sure what he shied from, whether it was the noise of the crowd or a little, standing water somewhere there that kind of he spooked away from a little bit. But, I think it was mainly, and he was kind of in control of the race. So those horses that shipped a little bit behind him, I thought maybe could have kept their position if they would have stayed back a little bit, or they were kind of right on his, they had their horse's head right on his hip a little bit, which, I would say could be something they might not have wanted to do in those conditions. But at the end of the day, thank God all the horses and jockeys came back safe, and you just really feel for them, and credit to Bill Mott and his team for what they did with Country House. And it'll be interesting as we move forward watching all these 19 horses, where they go from here.
Would you have wanted to win under those circumstances?
Oh, God, I want to win no matter what. Come on, Dan. No, that is awkward. You wonder what that winner's circle picture on their wall is going to look like. They're obviously going to, delete the maximum security. Probably they're going to do some Photoshop in there. But I think just the whole build-up and getting a horse in the Derby is just such a thrill. And to have a horse run second and get DQ'd up, you got to just be, just so full of joy and excited. Hopefully he comes back and runs huge in the Preakness, and that'll really validate the amazing horse he is.
Yeah, he's not running in the Preakness.
The Country House is?
Oh, no, Country House is. Maximum Security's not.
I know, and I think that is partly, I think Mr. Gary West is just he's probably wanting to sit out a little bit and not wanting to bring him back over there in 2 weeks. But I wish he would. It would be great to see those two horses hooked back up for the Preakness. But
what's the craziest thing you've ever witnessed, either during a race or after a race at the track?
Well, I mean, you see jockeys get in fights after the race. That's always entertaining. That's fun to see. So, and you've seen horses coming down the lane head to head, and one reach over and bite the other one. It was Dwayne Lucas had a great horse named Marfa that was known for biting its competition. So, you see some wacky things. And someone reminded me that I think it was 86 or 87 that Bet Twice bumped Alashiba a few times down the lane. And Alashiba finally got to the lead and won the race, or that would have been one that might have got DQ'd up if Bet Twice would have stayed in front of Alashiba. So, it's a great race for so many reasons, and I just really feel for the Team Service and Team West.
Doug, good to check in with you. Hope you're well, and we appreciate your time.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, Dan. Thank you.
That's Doug O'Neill, a two-time Kentucky Derby winner.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.